Namaste everyone. This video is related to universal design for learning and differentiated instruction. In this presentation, you will be shared content mainly related to universal design for learning and differentiated instruction. Let's have a look at the video and explore the deeper understanding of these concepts, including their implication in education. Let's have a brief discussion about universal design for learning. Have you ever heard about universal design for learning? I mean, do you know the meaning of universal design for learning? Universal Design for Learning (UDL) is a comprehensive framework aimed at engaging and educating students with diverse learning needs by addressing obstacles like rigid teaching methods. It promotes inclusivity and individuality in education, focusing on crafting curriculum to cater to each learner's individual needs. Universal Design for Learning provides a blueprint for designing goals, methods, materials, and assessments by considering various needs and abilities of all students, including those with diverse needs. Universal Design for Learning encourages educators to see diversity as a strength rather than a problem. It not only caters to individual learning needs but also creates a dynamic and inclusive learning environment. It is rooted in equitable education, welcoming learners of all backgrounds, ages, genders, abilities, and cultural identity. It is guided by 7 principles such as equitable use, flexibility, simplicity, tolerance for error, low physical effort, and appropriate size and space. Then let's have a brief discussion about the origin of universal design for learning. The concept of universal design initially emerged in the field of architecture and environmental design. Architect Ronald Mace coined the term universal design in 1980 to describe the design of products and environments that are accessible and usable by many people as possible, including those with disabilities. This design laid a groundwork for the application of universal design principles in education. Universal design for learning has gained recognition and adoption worldwide as a framework that promotes educational equity by focusing on the individualized needs of learners. It encourages educators to proactively design their instruction to be flexible, engaging, and supportive, ultimately benefiting all students regardless of their abilities and background. I think you all have already seen this picture. Let's pinpoint the message that the image communicates. How can we draw a connection between this image and our classroom environment? The image clearly signifies that students in a specific class exhibit diversity in terms of their abilities and other characteristics. Consequently, it highlights the importance of tailoring educational programs to accommodate the varying needs of students, particularly girls, children with disabilities, children come from marginalized and disadvantaged background, etc. Let's have a look at another picture and then find out the message conveyed by it. This picture is significantly different than the picture we just discussed. In previous picture, same criteria had been determined for all animals, in which all animals cannot get benefit based on their individual background. But in this picture, different type of activities can be carried out. Different type of exercise can be executed by using same machine. That's why this picture represents the idea of universal design for learning. In addition, look at other some pictures. Uh, some of them are related to universal design for learning. I mean, some of them can represent the idea of UDL, and some of them are guided by conventional approach in which all people cannot get equal access to be benefited from them. Universal Design for Learning (UDL) places significant importance on embracing diversity and fostering inclusivity, as it aims to create an educational environment where every student can readily engage with and make progress in the curriculum and physical environment. This is achieved by minimizing obstacles in both instruction and the built environment. Mainly, there are three qualities in universal design for learning. These are multiple means of representation, multiple means of engagement, and multiple means of expression. Under the principle of multiple means of representation, students are presented with a diverse range of resources through which they can acquire and comprehend information. Each individual student has their own learning style and unique cognitive strength. This principle includes using audio recording, e-book, and digital text-to-speech tools to make content accessible, as well as integrating video clips and practical demonstration to enhance instruction. It also mentions accommodating students with visual impairments through braille and audio material, ultimately using multiple modalities in the classroom. Presentation increase the effectiveness of engaging students. Uh, an example has been given here. Students studying in a classroom can have different learning style and intelligence. That's why varieties of ways should be provided to them to ensure their learning to a maximum extent possible. An example of the means of representation is given below. Provide text-to-speech, video, audio, and other multimedia options. Highlight critical features and main ideas of the given text. Provide vocabulary support and background knowledge before starting specific lesson. Integrate assistive technologies into learning environment to those who need such technology. Similarly, the principle of multiple means of engagement encourages educators to offer appropriate challenges for learners and enhance their motivation to learn. For example, some students grasp concept more effectively while standing or in motion, while others require a quiet space for concentration. Cultural influences, prior knowledge, and neurological factors all contribute to the necessity for a range of engagement choices within the learning setting. Aligning students' interests, preferences, strengths, and requirements with instructional tools and learning activities invariably leads to heightened motivation and autonomy. Some students may necessitate more scaffolded guidance, while others succeed on increased challenges. Collaboration is a prevailing need for most students, particularly with their peers, as it maximizes learning with purposeful interaction. Finally, the principle of multiple means of expression encourages diverse ways of demonstrating comprehension and learning by considering individual learning profile of learner by providing options for how learners express their understanding. UDL empowers students to share their knowledge and skills through multiple ways that align with their strengths and abilities. Some students may struggle to initiate responses independently, while others might find it challenging to retain information from reading. Certain learners impulsively respond without structuring their thought, while some benefit from additional time to organize their answers. Varied expression methods such as visual aids, presentation, or gestures can address these barriers and encourage self-regulation and ownership of learning among the learners. It means some students express themselves best through pictures, some through action, and some may be presentation. Multiple means of expression, therefore, should be provided to them. An example of multiple means of expression is given here. Offer graphic organizers and outlines providing multiple level of support on a required basis to the students come from diverse backgrounds and providing vocabulary, word bank, to prompt writing ideas and provide spelling support and allowing them to do voice recording, graphic display and performance. We have discussed about universal design for learning in previous slides. Now we are going to have a brief discussion about differentiated instruction. Let's begin from its meaning. Differentiated instruction is the process of adjusting teaching method to meet the diverse learning abilities and needs of students in a classroom. This involves modifying content, teaching approaches, and assessment procedures to meet to address individual learning styles, strengths, and weaknesses of learners. It starts with assessing students' prior knowledge and tailoring instruction to their specific needs, ensuring that learning occurs slightly beyond their current mastery level. This approach considers factors like language, ability, and learning preferences, making education more accessible in inclusive classrooms. Differentiated instruction aims at creating a personalized and effective learning experience for all learners, including those with disabilities and those come from marginalized and disadvantaged backgrounds. Some examples of differentiated instruction have been given through this slide. A teacher can differentiate their instruction by setting higher level curricular goals, higher level learning standards or benchmarks, by removing already learned content from the curricula. They can differentiate their instruction by ensuring participation in advanced level of activities directly related to the curricular content, especially for those who have already learned curricular content, and by adding new content useful for the learner, especially to those who are gifted and talented. And they can also differentiate their instruction by assigning advanced level problems for practice to genuine learners and extending existing curriculum to provide enrichment activities, and by suggesting new lessons or courses that meet the needs of the students and the life. Okay, let's have a discussion on why do we need differentiated instruction in the field of education. What are the importance of differentiated instruction? A differentiated instruction is helpful to make formal curricula accessible to all learners come from diverse backgrounds, and it is useful to motivate students toward the lesson, and it is helpful to ensure all students' engagement in the class, and it is also effective to dispel the myth rooted behind children with disabilities. It means children with disabilities Some teachers feel that children with disabilities cannot learn curricular content as their same age peers without disability, and they underestimate their cognitive ability, their potentiality. If we differentiate the instruction based on individual learning profile of the learner, then they can get sufficient benefit from the instruction and get chance to develop their inner potential to a fuller extent possible, and they falsify the myth rooted behind them. And differentiated instruction is also useful to optimize internal and external efficiency of educational program, and it is also helpful to ensure success of all children, including those with disabilities and come from poor and marginalized backgrounds. In this slide, we are going to discuss about different domains of differentiated instruction. A domain of differentiation refers to the areas that teachers or facilitators use to adapt a curriculum or instruction to meet the diverse needs, interests, aspiration and abilities of learners, including those with disabilities. Teachers typically differentiate instruction in three areas: content, process, and product. Some studies suggest aiding the learning environment is another area of differentiation. Differentiated instruction is crucial to ensure that all students, including those with disabilities, have equal access to the general education curriculum. For students with disabilities and those come from marginalized and disadvantaged backgrounds, example of differentiation include providing materials in simple language in their mother tongue. In the case of children with visual impairments, differentiate, differentiation include providing materials in braille, audio text, and large print for presentation, using large font for questionnaires, allowing braille or oral responses, extending exam time, and adapting the classroom setting to reduce distraction and improve physical access for efficient learning. Let's see some example of differentiated instruction through these slides. We can make differentiation in presentation. Um, uh, an example has been given here in the case of children with visual impairment, hearing impairment. Uh, in presentation, using large printed material to the children with low vision, using sign language for the learner with hearing impairment, using material written in braille to the blind student, and providing audio tape to the children with visual impairment are some example of differentiation that can be applied in our classroom. We can also make differentiation in response. Some examples are given here. Uh, uh, Print questionnaire in large font while using it to the children with low vision. Allow to use sign language to the learners with hearing problem. Provide opportunity to write in braille to the blind children allow to respond orally to the children with visual impairment. We can also make a differentiation in timing and scheduling, uh, extending time in the exam as per students' need. Some students with disabilities may need additional time. That's why providing more time to them in the exam or in a classroom is an example of differentiated instruction, and providing multiple or frequent breaks during instruction. Some students cannot uh, engage them uh, throughout the session, uh, and they may need multiple breaks. If we provide such opportunity to them, is another example of differentiated instruction, and changing the test schedule and order of sub-test is also an example of differentiated instruction, and setting additional time for extra support, especially to those who need such type of support. We can also use differentiated instruction in uh, environmental setting. Changing classroom setting is for the nature of content and students' learning style is an example of differentiated instruction, reducing external distraction, increasing physical access of students with disability by using uh, universal design for learning, using special equipment to ensure access to the curriculum. These are some examples of differentiated instruction that can be applied inside the classroom to ensure access and success of all students under particular educational program. Thank you for watching this video.